watching the Oscars this year?
I'm going to watch on the strength of Chris Rock. You know, I'm a Chris Rock fan, and I just want to see how he addresses the elephant in the room. So, yeah, I'll watch for that matter. But, I mean, this isn't controversial. This has always been how they handle us. So,
Any advice for Chris?
No. He's a legend. He's a master. He doesn't need any advice. He'll do what he's going to do.
I'm Jemiah Brown, and today we're at the
NAACP Awards 2016, watching That's Hot.
Well, everything cool. It's hot.
the extremely talented Mr. Roland Martin. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. Always glad to be here. And of course, it's always great to be nominated again. So.
Yes, and you're nominated for the...
For our, we did for our news and information special for our 1 hour tribute to Julian Bond, of course, former NAACP chairman who passed away. And so looking forward to it. Certainly, it was, we believe in paying proper tribute to our heroes and sheroes. And so that was certainly one of the shows we were proud of.
Awesome. Now, I wanted to ask you, will you be watching the Oscars this year?
No, because one, I'm not interested in boring myself to death, and so I have if need be, whatever Chris Rock says, it'll be instantly played back, and so I'm sure I'll be able to see it on Twitter or Facebook. But more than likely, I'm probably going to watch some other show that night, and I've been checking out Showtime's Billions, so I'm probably going to watch that instead.
Now, any advice for Chris?
Yes, what I would love, it is so funny. It's so funny when Tony Rock tweeted it, because I almost tweeted, I really want Chris to roll up with Minister Farrakhan and to stroll into the theater flanked by at least 100 members of the Fruit of Islam, reminiscent of that scene from Malcolm X when they were walking to the hospital. And then that's what I want. And so literally, I would love to see Chris go up on stage and have a whole row of Fruit of Islam all seated right in front of the stage. That's how you should open the Oscars.
Will you be watching the Oscars this year?
Man, I'm going to watch them. I know what they're trying to do. You know, they didn't give us any nominations, but they put Chris Rock up there.
I was going to say, do you have any advice for Chris?
Well, Chris is doing his thing. Obviously, people of color have a lot of power because Chris Rock is back. I don't know if you know this, but Chris Rock is the second highest rating host in the history of the Oscars. See, that's why he's back. See, people of color do have power. They may not have nominated us in categories or what have you, but they know that we're going to tune in for Chris. So it's kind of double entendre sword. You want to tune in because you want to support Chris, but at the same time, come on, man. This is a multicultural world. It's time. It's time.
You know, I never paid that much attention to the Oscars because I've never been nominated, so that. But I'm sure that I'll glance at the television or I'll see some stuff online. I do think that, Spike's absence and boycott, I think it's good either way you look at it. I think for those people that decide that they want to boycott and stand back, I think that's great. That draws attention. I think when Chris Rock gets up there, he's not going to be shy about calling the Oscars out for their lack of diversity. So I think, there's two ways to come at it. Everybody doesn't have to pull out. Everybody doesn't have to go. As long as those people that go say something about the issue. And I think most of the people people of color that go will say something.
Now, do you have any advice for Chris Rock?
Tear him up. Make him look bad.
Can you give us a little information about your nomination this year?
Yeah, I was nominated for a film called Whitewater that I directed. It was written by Michael Bandy and Eric Stein. It's based on a true story. And I met these guys in a class I was teaching, a screenwriting class I was teaching, that, it so happens the owner of DatzHott is also in the class. So, there's a great brain trust in that group. So that's what I'm nominated for, though. It's a really great story about a little black kid, 1950, 1960, who goes into town with a little white friend. They run to the water fountains. The little white kid goes to the whites only fountain. Black kid goes to the coloreds fountain. And the black kid decides at 6 or 7 years old that somehow or another he's going to drink from the white water fountain. And that is his journey. And it's actually, I'd say 3/4 of it is kind of a fun movie. It gets a little bit serious at the end because it is during that period. But it leaves you up.
Will you be watching the Oscars?
Probably, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any advice you could give to Chris Rock?
Have a great time.
Yes.
Say everything you think you need to say. Even if they tell you shouldn't say it anyway.
Hey, DatzHott.com. doing.